This is Down South Tech. I'm Clayton.
I'm Caleb.
Our focus is anything tech. In this video, we'll be attempting to transform this decade-old Dell Optiplex into a modern gaming desktop. Can we do it?
Stick around to find out.
The Dell Optiplex is a budget-friendly, refurbished enterprise desktop released in 2013, typically available for $20 to $60 in small form factor or tower configurations. Featuring a 4th gen Intel Core i3 or i5 processor and supporting up to 16 gigabytes of RAM. It is suitable for basic office tasks, web browsing, and light computing needs. It was originally released with Windows 7. You will see here soon what we will be transforming this desktop into. The heart of this system is the Intel Core i3 4130. It is a 3.4 GHz dual-core processor utilizing the LGA 1150 socket. Featuring 2 cores, 4 threads, and integrated Intel HD Graphics 4400, it is designed for budget-friendly office work and light computing. This PC comes with a 4 GB single stick of DDR3 memory at 1333 MHz. And this desktop is a Dell proprietary 290 watt power supply. You will see later in the video that we will be using adapter cables for the new power supply. The hard drive is 500 gigabytes at 7200 RPM, but that will change shortly. Let's take a look at some benchmarks.
Okay, as you see, we have picked not ready to benchmark due to it being for systems with integrated graphics. Also, we would typically try to run a more traditional benchmark such as TimeSpy, but it kept crashing on this system due to its hardware, and we want some type of numbered benchmark to compare when we upgrade this system. This PC performed pretty bad, especially since this test was for systems with integrated graphics. We had about 8 FPS average across the CPU and GPU test. For our scores on this benchmark, we had 2,262 points for the CPU, 2,772 for the GPU, and a final score of 2,326. Alright, I'm going to be quiet for a little bit. We're going to benchmark a couple other games with the i3 and integrated graphics and see how it does. And since we couldn't get CS2 to launch, we are going to be using a slightly less demanding FPS shooter called Polygon.
Alright guys, we just saw the performance of the 2013 school computer. Let's take a look at our upgrades.
Alright, so first what we have to offer is the i7-4770K. It's a 4-core, 8-thread CPU. You can usually find these on the used market for around $30 to $50 depending on where you look. Next, we have the CPU cooler that we will be using to replace the Dell stock CPU cooler. This is a Thermalright CPU cooler, 120 millimeter. You can usually find this on Amazon from 15 to 25 bucks. Additionally, we have a 4-pin to 5-pin connector that will be going into the Dell's motherboard. Next, we have the RAM that we will be replacing in the Dell Optiplex. Currently, it has a 4 gigabyte stick in it. We will be upgrading to 2 by 8 gigabyte sticks. These are at 1600 mega transfers a second, and with the current RAM crisis that we're in, this is where you're going to be saving a lot of your money, because I believe on eBay these go for around 25 to 30 bucks. And for the storage, we'll be taking out the 500 gigabyte hard drive and putting in this 120 gigabyte SSD. This will speed things up a lot more, even though there's less storage in it. It'll still allow us to download games and give you a general benchmark of what we have to offer. You can usually find these for around 20 bucks, but I know there's also a storage shortage right now, so that price might vary, but on the used market, it should still be between $20 and $30.
We have a 500 watt power supply to support our upgrades. You can find this for $25 to $40 on the used market. We also have a 24 pin to 8 pin adapter cable to go into our Dell proprietary unit. And finally, we have our GTX 1660 Ti 6GB. This is from an Asus pre-built unit. You can find this for $70 to $100 on the used market. All right, guys, we've got all our upgrades installed. As you saw, it took us a few minutes to get the hard drive bay out. Once we got through that, everything went smooth, and now we're ready for some benchmarking.
Okay, as you see in the performance of the benchmark, we're getting well over 200 FPS in some scenes. That is to be expected since this is a test for systems with integrated graphics. I know you're wondering, we have a graphics card now. Why are we testing integrated graphics? We just wanted to keep the benchmark same across the board on each system that we tested. And you will see here shortly what the result is. We have a final score of 26,231. As you can see, the CPU score was triple of what it was on the i3. Okay, back on Fortnite, we're using the same settings we used on the system with the i3. All those settings, performance rendering, and we're going to up the 3D resolution to 100%. As you can see, there are still some slight stutters in the gameplay. That is to be expected due to it being the first match and some textures are still loading. Alright, we averaged around 110 FPS throughout this match. I'm sure it would go up after a couple matches and all textures were loaded. The CPU usage was between 80 and 90 about the whole match, which is a lot better than 100%, and that's probably where some of these slight stutters are coming from.
As you saw in the benchmarks, the performance increase was significant. Let us know in the comments if you would consider this a gaming PC. Also, if you enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing. And if you want to see us do anything in the future, please let us know in the comments. Peace.